It's been it's been a busy one.
You sound like it's packed. You got some stuff going on.
Yes, we start off early this morning with our workshop there on Quantico. And so we
Okay.
get kicked off with that first of our class here, and then trying to move on to the night shift.
Okay. Well, we got some stuff to talk about. I'll let you get such situated. You ready? Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, question. You sent over the slides. Do you want me to show those?
If you don't mind, if it's easier for you to do.
Probably I'll go ahead and follow along. Yes, as we get started, I want to welcome our audience out there. It's so Thursday, Thursday Live. And so, personalized, of course, we have continued to outreach our community. And today was one of those days. And of course, we enjoyed visiting our military installations. And so, there is when we have our first time our workshop at Quantico, I started early. And civilians all in there. 8 o'clock is early to start class because by the time we got there and got online. So, security is up because of what's going on. You know, threat comes around the globe, I should say. And so civilians just can't walk on base. And so I wanted to get one of our new colleagues in base. So it took some time, but we went through, got everything. And so for the audience out there, I learned something new today. I did not know that if you're a green card holder, you're supposed to have that green card on you at all times. I was not aware. So you may have other forms of ID, driver's license, things of that sort. We're told by past IDs that their documentation is supposed to be so it was a glorious day. We had a lot of presenters there. We had inspector, we had a realtor professional there, also a lender, and so financial planner that was there. And so it was a full day, full workshop. And so we have another class scheduled on Saturday. It seemed like that we don't have enough participation, so that class has been postponed this Saturday. So, audience, please continue to check our website out there for the upcoming classes for next month. And also, continue to follow us here on social media and Thriving Thursday Live. Yeah, so, how was your day, Tim?
Oh, mine was busy as well. Not as busy as yours as I would like to think, but I just moving and grooving. The weather, it's extremely warm outside. The air quality is all over the place. So having to sit in the car for 2 hours driving, it's tiresome. So I made it. I'm here. I'm excited to be here this tonight to talk about one of my favorite areas of the body, which is the shoulders. And so tonight we're talking about the shoulders, and we're just going to get right into it. I know you're busy, so we're going to make it short and impactful so that we get in a lot of what we're talking about with this series. And the series is Moving with Ease. And basically, I want to just talk about how, not moving your body or having pain in certain areas of the body and just maybe taking medicine for the pain, not addressing the pain, can do more damage than actually good. So I'm here to show how yoga plays a part in us moving with ease, especially when our body is in pain, and ease may not always be the first thing that we think about. So the shoulders, these shoulders, what are we carrying in our shoulders? So I know today, Larry, and I'm looking at Larry on the camera, and I see you, and you are looking and intense, and you're reading and you're focused, but your body posture in doing that, we have to be aware and cognizant of when we're in these areas of reading, sitting for long periods of time, doing those types of movements without breathing or holding on. Those tend to cause internal stresses in the body. So today's intention, we're releasing tension, restoring our posture, and reconnecting the upper body with the rest of you. So last week we went into the hips, and I will reiterate and we'll talk about putting those two together here in a second. All right. Thank you for that. And Larry, can you go to the next slide? So why we hold tension in our shoulders? I know for me, I always like to say that I'm a big burst of energy. And so a lot of the things that I do and a lot of the fun that I have is through laughter, through me speaking. I love to sing. All of these things, I usually use my upper body in a lot of areas where I'm having fun. I mean, the utmost extreme to where when I'm getting angry. And so holding I know for me holding tension in my shoulders has a lot to do with me grinding my teeth when I sleep, me holding my breath when I'm angry, certain things like that. So let's ask ourselves, and I don't know, Larry, if you can hear me, but first let me say, do you know why you hold tension in your shoulders?
Well, I think just as you're saying, when I'm trying to focus, you know, maybe maybe on a screen or something, it seemed that I actually stiffened my upper body to do so.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
just a
yeah,
minute ago, you were in it, and so it was a great example of what we tend to do, right? So yes, okay. So when you're on the computer screen,
yeah, and a lot
anything
of
else?
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm giving driving lessons to my daughter-in-law now, and I can see the tension in her shoulders when she's driving. And I was like, that is have to be very uncomfortable. It's like it seemed like she got that left shoulder going like this, and she's holding the steering wheel like that. It was like that have to be painful. You may not feel it now, but I'm quite sure you feel it after an hour of sitting that way, ripping.
It is. It's very interesting, and that's where people, when you're not aware of it, how you don't understand, and then people, because of the disconnect, and the nervous ticks or the things that we do when we're stressed out, like just taking the time to say, "Oh, I'm stressed," and when I'm stressed, these things happen. One of the things that was significant for me during my yoga journey, when I was studying my teacher training, I had a girlfriend that I was doing the training, one of my classes with, and she was my student. And I was, teaching the class, and she's like, breathe. And I'm like, wow, I'm holding my breath as I'm instructing people to breathe, which was and the breath work in yoga was something in the initial stages that I shied away from because I knew that I had a hard time in my shoulders and clenching. So, holding, why we hold tension, some of the top reasons are, and first, let me say the shoulders are one of the first places our bodies respond to stress. So I know that when I'm stressed, the first thing, it doesn't go to my hips, it goes right to my shoulders and my neck. Before yoga, pre-tippy yoga, I stayed with having neck spasms. I stayed with having crooks in my neck. Um, I stayed with digestive issues because it was either I get it out or I suppress it. And some of the suppressing causes internal conflict in your body. And so that suppression, it just caused toxins and all of these things in my body. So um, for me, that's where I know that this first place where stress goes to. Long hours at a desk, which we talked about, driving, which you talked about. Driving is why our shoulders tend to hold stress. Looking down at our phones, responsibility. Having responsibility for some people is causing people to lock up, and even our emotions. Over time, the nervous system, it begins to protect us by creating tension. So that bracing, which is in my classes, I start to talk about try not to brace yourself. for whatever, just kind of let it go and let it be what it is and allow your breath to break that down. So what we carry in our shoulders. Poor posture elevates the shoulders without us realizing it. So sitting, and this was one of the reasons why I got into yoga, because my posture, I have most of my height is in my upper body. So my torso is super long than my legs. So it looks like I'm really tall, but my upper body is relatively longer. And so I found myself resting in this natural space. And even when I'm at a desk, this is how I'm typing. This is what I'm doing. And so then being able to come into a yoga class and understand that this, if I sit like this, I'm causing stress here and I'm causing stress from shoulder blade to shoulder blade, versus me rolling the shoulders back, lengthening the spine, and then creating space here, limiting that pressure, that tire out, and then here, pulling the shoulders down, and then here. So really just making sure that I am relaxing, breathing, and being intentional about my spine. So this is where we want to land. This is where I want to end up. And I also know that I can't sit like this for long periods of time. So if I'm at a basketball game, I have my stadium chair. If I don't have a stadium chair, I'm sitting somewhere or maybe standing so that I'm not sitting for long periods of time where my spine is this way. Okay. Another thing is poor posture limits mobility through chest and upper back. I don't know if, Larry, how would you rate your posture? Uh-oh, he's playing with the audio. I can't.
I think I rate my posture as fair. I think I concentrate more on it now. I think but a lot of it is, I think it's natural from, I mentioned about the routine of marching and things of that sort, and being aware now to, slouching things. And also, to share a little bit, I guess, my imperfections. I have a disorder that causes that I can go to sleep just like that. And so you see, even now I'm setting up. So if I'm in a classroom, I didn't know why I couldn't pay attention. It's because I'm dozing, and sometimes I just out. And so I do, I have a tendency to sit straight, trying to pay attention. Now, not that sometimes you do to relax. So if you want to say tense, I mean, I try not to be as, when I'm in the posture, is I sort of have trained myself to relax even when it comes to a straight posture. So sort of relax. It's not really tense, but it seems like I'm tense. But it's I'm sort of relaxing in the right posture.
Yeah. I get that. And then one of the things that I do is I use my, I try to use my hands to support. So using my hands as a kickstand, or again, like you said, making sure the back of the chair, I never understood the importance of a back of a chair. I think once I turned 40, I was like, I'm not sitting in a chair that doesn't have a back, not for long periods of time, which is why I have like a stadium chair in my car and things like that for sporting events. But okay. We also carry in our shoulders that tight, it can contribute to neck pain and headaches. There's a lot of people that have migraines and things like that. And one of the first things, that I recognized, I do have sinus headaches, but now that I've been practicing pulling my ears down or my shoulders away from my ears and not always like being like this, but also like coming here, creating space, has reduced the amount of headaches and tension that I have in my so yeah, I noticed that as well for me. Also, shoulder tension often changes how our hips and our lower back responds to each other. So, if you're having shoulder pain and you're bracing yourself, your spine is creating, either it's clenching and holding on in the lower back, or there's something that from the shoulders to the lower back that's causing that entire spine to either become inflamed, from the constant, and especially if you're not moving, that friction, which can cause inflammation, can cause, just all of these things that happen inside of your body. So making sure that you're moving your shoulders. The twists are the good things. That's why we twist, and pull the shoulders down, is to make sure that the mobility from the spine, the top of the spine to the lower back is fluid. All right. Any questions, any concerns, anything you want to add, Larry?
I think I'm clear on that. No concerns.
Okay. The teaching moment of all this really comes from pain isn't always coming from the area that hurts. Like, just because you're in pain, that pain could be caused by something else. And it's really getting to understand your body, the mobility, and what is connected to what. Sometimes another part of the body isn't moving well, causing everything else to compensate. So, if your shoulders are hurting, that's where you tend to get headaches and things like that, because that tension can go up and cause, stressing. If your eyebrows, if you're, squinting, pulling the shoulders up here, there's all kinds of things that could cause other pains in the body. And so that's why, at the end of the day, a full body juicy stretch is what I always say, will be a good thing. So the next slide, we're going to revisit the ease method. And the ease method is exhaling, releasing the tension in the body, letting go with a slow breath. So find that ease. Breathe into that exhale, that ease. The next one is the A, align. Gently find a neutral spine. Align the pelvis. So resting the pelvis right inside those hip creases. Rolling the shoulders back, making sure the shoulders and the hips are aligned. And then making sure the chin is neutral. So then from there, resting and creating that alignment, breathing. So we go with the E for the exhale, the A for the alignment. All right. So the next one is S, soften the body. So once we're aligned in the body, I'm sorry, I should probably back up and come over here. But once we're aligned in the body, you're going to soften. So once you find that sweet spot, and it might be where you're like, okay, I'm going to extend my legs out. I can't find an easy seat, or I have all my goodies behind me. So my spine, I'm just going to rest my spine up against my pillows, and I'm going to come here in an easy seat. So once I find my breath, my exhale, my alignment is good, then I'm going to soften the body, because now I'm like, ooh, I'm here. I could soften. I can let go. I trust my body, so I'm not gripping or clenching anywhere. I'm not bracing myself. I'm finding that space of just being at ease. So remember, the E in the ease method is exhale. The A is align. The S is slowing down. So we're going to take about 3 cycles of breath, honoring this moment, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, telling our shoulders that everything is okay. So as we soften, we're going to create that mantra, those affirmations in your mind. I am soft. I am at ease. I have love in between my shoulders. All right, here we go. And then the final one of the ease method is expand. So once we get into the E, the A, the S, the E, and we're softened in the body, then we're able to expand. So once you feel comfortable, you're in that space of like, I got it, I understand, I found my ease, then you can really start to expand and trust your body. Your body is allowing your mind to free and flow. We have fluidity in the body, our shoulders, our spine, we're aligned. Come on, body. All right, and let me do a quick twist. See, we're twisting. We're coming back and we're twisting the opposite way. We're coming here. We're okay in the knees. Our spine is lifted. We're moving. We're expanding the body. And we're at ease. All right. So I'm like, okay, shoulders, I got you. I can do this. I can really find a space where I'm comfortable. I can move. I'm good to go. So let's build upon last week. We're going to come here and we're going to build upon what we did last week. So building on last week was our foundation. And I don't know, Larry, I know you're busy. Can you change the slide? If you can hear me. Okay, perfect. Last week we explored the hips. So we went into the hips and we explored the hips. This week, we're not leaving the hips behind. We're adding another layer. So when you start at the hips, we're adding the shoulders, and then the body moves as one connected system. When the hips become restricted, the shoulders often overcompensate. So if you're tight in the back, and I see it all the time in my yoga classes where people's, your lower back is like here. So this is what we were talking about at the beginning, where the posture, you're overcompensating here because it's tiresome. My lower back used to be on fire. So this is why I rested here. But then once I said, okay, let me sit up on my sitting bones and be deliberate, then I was able to at least release the tension in the lower back and just focus solely on the shoulders. So when the shoulders become restricted, the neck and the lower back begin working harder. Same thing. It can, again, sitting like this for long periods of time, at the desk and typing, you get up. I know for me, even just taking a nap and sleeping in a certain position, if I don't have a heating pad or some sort of something to calm my muscles down, then my lower back is restricted. So literally, mobility is learning how every part supports the next. So how do I adjust myself? If I'm driving for 8 hours, I have my pillow on my spine. I have my seat supported to where I can see. So I've learned the little nooks and crannies that will help me to where I have limited or lessen the immobility in my shoulders. And I'm actually pretty proud of myself. So the reflection is, what awareness did you bring to your hips this week, Larry? Can I circle back with you and ask you, did you think about your hips this week? I know you did.
Of course, on my morning walk, I ensured that I was, releasing and not necessarily trying to tighten my hips up so I wouldn't have that, any tension or soreness throughout the remainder of the day. So I was able to concentrate more on releasing.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I love that. Okay. So the next slide, let's really quickly, let's get into a real quick practice flow. And I promise you it's going to be really quick. But what we're going to do is we're going to get into a grounding pose. So with our breath awareness, you can find your easy seated, whatever that looks like. You can find where your legs are straight out. You can bend your knees, or you can find a wall. But let's check in with our hips. Bring your hands to your knees and just roll your hips around. And the circle doesn't have to be like a big old circle or exaggerated circle. It could just be where it's, very concentrated and small. But what you want to do is make sure you bring the shoulders and the lower back into it. Beautiful. Now let's find a stopping point and then go the opposite way, rolling. And it can be small, concentrated circles or large circles where you bring the chest and then coming back. So you get to decide what feels good for you. I know, Larry, you're out and about, so your circle might be a little bit more restricted. All right, so here we go. Now from here, let's add some neck mobility. So let's go left ear, left shoulder. I'm going to extend my hands out, support myself, and then come up and then go opposite ear, opposite shoulder. Now I'm going to swing my hand behind my back, pull that shoulder down, and then I'm going to reach my hand over and pull that ear close to the shoulder. Now release, come back, opposite ear, opposite shoulder, pull and come down. Now wrap that hand behind your back, pull that right shoulder or left shoulder down and come ear to shoulder. You can feel all this stuff happening in the side of your neck. And release. Beautiful. All right. Roll the shoulders back. Tuck the chin into the chest and let's find a rotation in the neck. Now for me, the rotations always feel like a little snap, crackle, and pop in the neck. Don't be afraid of that. Just work the kinks out. Take your time and make sure you're breathing. Go the opposite way. One more circle. This is yummy. I haven't done this in a while. Now meet me with your chin in your chest. Lift your chin. And let's go shoulder rolls. Roll those shoulders back. Hello, rolls. And then stop and go forward. All right. Yummy. All right, so now the next posture, I'm going to get on my hands and knees. I'm going to get into a tabletop. Walk my wrists under my shoulders, knees under my hips, pull the shoulders. So here's the shoulder. Sometimes in yoga, people are like this. And then it's like, all right, I got it. But no, we want to pull the shoulders away from the ears, lengthen, and then bring the belly to the mat, lift the chin and the tailbone up. We're coming into a cow. Exhale, hollow out the back, tuck the chin into the chest. Inhale, find your cow. Bring that belly down, lift and look up. Exhale, hollow out the back. Ooh, this is yummy. I need this. One more time, find your cow. Exhale, cat. Ooh. Neutral spine. All right, so here we go. We're going to do a thing that we call thread the needle. So you're going to sweep the hand up. Actually, no, I'm going to go this hand. Sweep the hand up, stack the shoulders, reach, lengthen. All right, so from this side, it's going to look like this. I'm going to bring one hand under the other. I'm going to bring my shoulder and my cheek to the earth. I'm going to stack the hips over the knees, extend the hand out, and then wrap the hand behind my back and wrap it around my thighs. So I'm here. Now I'm going to come back, reach, sweep, lift, extend, and come down. Let me see if I do it this way. Will you be able to see me? All right, opposite hand, reach up, stack, and then fold. Go opposite hand under. So here we go. Cheek, chin, extend the hand back, stack the hips over the knees, straight line, and then we're here. Shoulder back and here. Thread the needle. Now you can be on your shoelaces, or if you need to tuck your toes, you can do so. Now hand to the earth, sweep up, stack, and come down. Ooh, yummy, yummy. All right, eagle arm. Okay, so let's do puppy. Puppy is a good one. It takes a special individual. I always keep my toes tucked on puppy just because. But we're keeping the hips stacked over the knees and we're melting the heart down towards the earth. So here you go. You're here, chin. You can rest on your chin. or rest on your forehead. You can untuck your toes. We're here. Stay on your forehead and we're here. All right, lift the chin, lift the forehead, come up, tabletop. Yummy. All right, so here we go. Eagle arms. All right. This is our last pose. Eagle arms. We're going to extend the hands out. We're going to bring one hand over the other. We're going to bend at the elbows, and then you can bring the back of the hands together or the hands together. All right, so from here, we're here, spine is long, fingertips come up, shoulders come down. And then you can tuck the chin into the chest, fold in, and come back up. Now uncross, up, forward, open, and then opposite. So you go here and you go here. So eagle arms, you can go back of the hands here. This can be all you have, or palms, and then we're here, here, and here. Great shoulder decongestion or decongester posture, and here. All right, that's it. Roll those shoulders back. So that's the movement. That's what is required. And if you've never done these postures, you got to give your body at least 30 days to get acclimated to building up to where these postures really feel good and juicy. So one of my favorite flows, one of my favorite stretches for the shoulders, and pull this up at any time. And you can also find it on my YouTube videos as well that I have. But in conclusion, here we go. Put the weight down. What are you ready to stop carrying in your shoulders? Your shoulders don't have to hold everything. Return to ease, one breath, one moment, and one layer at a time. All right. Thank you. Thank you. If nothing else, let's put all that weight down and let's start our day or finish our day up.
All right, great to be. I tried to participate as much as I could. That was a lot of activity there, and I would probably say my shoulders are not as fluid as they should be.
Yeah.
Lifting of the arms up and bringing them back around. I mean, really, not in my the arms are okay. I know that I'm not that flexible. I actually feel so much tension on just raising my. You know, we had this program for volunteers, and it was a senior program. And I used to wonder why they say that a senior could not lift anything above their shoulders. It wasn't over their head, but they couldn't lift 10 pounds above the shoulders. So that was one of the things that they require, restrictions that we couldn't ask a senior to do. And we're talking about even a binder. If it was over the top of the shoulder, we could not ask them to do that. But for myself, I can feel the tension, if you want to call it. I can feel more tension as soon as I raise my hands or elbows up here. As long as I'm keeping it down here, it's okay. But up here, I feel a lot of, I can feel the pressure.
Yeah. I like to sometimes call it fatigue. I get fatigued very easily in my shoulders just because I haven't built up the strength or the endurance that requires a lot of the mobility that's needed. So I am grateful that I'm able to do this. But yes, I do recognize if I were to dance or do something that required like constant, I don't know how much or how long I could do that. Whereas in my 20s, 30s, playing basketball, I wouldn't even think about it. But now it's like, well, wait a minute. What's going to happen tomorrow?
Right.
Is this going to be good? What's my recovery? So those are the things that I think about now when I'm doing activities. And I think it's interesting that there are limitations. And I think it's necessary for seniors to understand that there are certain limitations that need to be at least thought about and in place before people start to think that they can do a lot of things that they cannot do. So I'm going to make sure I have those courageous conversations with myself when I'm in my 70s and 80s to be able to like make sure I'm honest about where I am in my body, just for the sake of everybody.
I think if we would, like you said, be intentional about certain things and condition just condition yourself not to get out of condition from doing it.
Exactly.
So it wouldn't be so much danger. Continue some of that work.
Well, I like your retirement plan, your retirement plan. And that's the thing is like, once we get to a certain age, and I don't want to turn this into, but it's like certain milestones in your life, whether it's having a child, those things sometimes calls for us to put our bodies on the back burner when our bodies are the ones that's fueling us and giving us the ability to do all the things that we do, but we tend to ignore and overcompensate in other areas. So, yeah.
Yes. And Tiffany, we have a couple of minutes here, and we touch on maybe a consistency there, as whether seniors or not, in reference to doing those things, such as maybe extending your hands above your head, or not just doing it. How important is consistency?
Well, and I think about me, like I stopped dancing. I stopped going to, listening to hip hop music and went more towards yoga, and said to myself about 8 years ago, I need to build my upper body strength. Well, I was so focused on building the upper body that I forgot about the lower body, which is why I talk about the connection, because I think because I always trusted my legs to be able to get me through things. Once I started to focus on my arms, I think my legs were like, well, what about me? And it's like, well, I don't need to worry about you, because this part is what needs to be focused. And really, my entire body needs love, and it needs that same consistent love. So the same way we love on our shoulders is the same way we need to love on our hips and our knees and our ankles. Like, it just all has to be together. So yeah, I tell you. So now I got to rework my hips. My shoulders are good. Sometimes when I sleep, I'm still trying to get the right type of pillow. Do I like a hard mattress versus a softer mattress? There's some things that we can do. Do I need to sleep with an air purifier versus, what are things that I can do that will limit some of the things that are keeping me immobile, right? So those are the things, I haven't thought that much about a mattress, but I can tell the difference when I sleep on a soft mattress versus a harder mattress. But that's going down a whole nother rabbit hole that I don't know if we even have time to go down. But anyway, on the sake of yoga, that's where we are. And so, yeah. Oh, I can't hear you.
Just want to limit the noise here. And so we talked about hips, we talked about shoulders, we talked about being active, consistent, moving those. And then you start talking about rest and recovery. And so how important is the recovery? Do rest help us recover from,
I think it's important that, and that's where becoming aware with your body. I thought about, and for me, and it's like I used to wait until 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening to eat. I mean, I would drink all day long. I'd have chai teas, I'd have coffee, I'd have water. I just never had time to eat. And then I realized that I actually have a really bad case of being hangry. And so I imagine all these years that I've been walking around waiting till 6 o'clock to eat. And then I'm like angry at like 3 or 4 o'clock. And it's because I haven't fueled my body properly. Right. And so I totally lost the point of what I was trying to say. But it has to do with being aware and fueling your body and making sure that you nourish yourself from your head to your toe. If I've finished my thought.
Yes, and the rest of recovery.
the rest and recovery. So understanding that the recovery is just as important as the workout. So some people are in the gym 7 days a week and they're always on. And then their recovery is like protein powder or things of that nature. But no, it's like the sauna. And I do think with wellness, the wellness craze coming in, the recovery and the rest is just as important. And I think that that is something that I've heard more so now more than ever, the restored and the rest. So you have WNBA players talking about the recovery. I know that there's fitness classes that, you know, people, they have recovery classes. So that is something that is on trend right now. And it is super important. So I don't work out 7 days a week. I make sure I have one day. And I say this where I don't move my mouth. I don't have to hear my name. I don't have to pick up the phone. I don't have to answer anything. And I guess that's, you know, could be a self-care Sunday or whatever. But yeah, that's my recovery and my rest day.
Yes, I try to use that as my day as well. I mean, I try my best to actually sleep intentionally. So,
Yeah.
Close the blinds and all this other crazy stuff to do. Drink water, lay back down, and try to force yourself to just get that rest of at least one day. So I'll try to do that. Yeah.
One of the other things that I started to do was I started to wake up gently. I meditate, I pray. I try not to answer the phone until I have balanced myself and prayed and did all the things. I try not to pick up the phone and just start having full-blown conversations. I try to answer the phone after 8 or 9 o'clock. I try not to talk about anything until 9 o'clock. That way I have that time with myself, my meditation time, my restorative time before I go out into the world. I think that's really important too.
Yes. Well, I call my first shift at 5 to 9. And after 9, it's the second shift.
There you go.
And like right now, it's after 5, so we actually on the third shift now.
Yeah.
So, yes. But yes, I do not like to bring in a lot of stressors in my first shift. My first shift, I like to be more into myself, you know, the meditation, the health, the prayer, exercise, things like that. Because all those other things, they're going to be there for the other remainder of the day. So why start your day on that note?
Yeah. It and you know, it's hard to believe that it is going to be there, but when we pick it up, I found that I'm a much better responder when I'm balanced and at ease and meditated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Tiffany, I really enjoyed this evening, and of course, as always, you know, it's always good to see you and spend this time together. And look forward again for next week.
Yes.
Yes. And so, what's on the topic for next week?
You know, and I keep telling myself that I was going to study and make sure that I had it down for next week. So give me a second while I look it up really quickly, because it's going to be, we're moving on to another body part. And let me tell you what body part it's going to be.
So, of course, we are always excited about it. And we know it's going to be another important body part.
It is. And so I have it here. So it is going to be week 3. We did the hips. So now we're going into the lower back. So week 3 is the lower back. Week 4 are the knees. I'm excited about the knees. But lower back is next week. We did the hips. So we started with the hips. We went up to the shoulders, and now we're going to the lower back.
Okay. Sounds good. I can't wait.
I know.
And yes, and also we're looking forward to the Monday video. And so thank you for sending those things in for our summer routine. And
Yes.
so we are increasing our views. And so we're continuing them. We want our audience here to go ahead and show us a little bit more. To likes and subscribe to our YouTube. And also drop us a comment and let us know if you're enjoying it, maybe something that you maybe want to see more of. So let's share those comments and send some stars as well. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And Tippy, can you go ahead, sort of mobile at this time, but let our audience know. No, matter of fact, I have a slide up. I had some work done on that. I appreciate
Oh,
it. Yes. And so let me see if I can pull that slide up to for everyone to see some of your handles that you have out there. And
yes. So you can find me Yoga with Tippy, and Tippy is Tippi. I'm on YouTube, so you can subscribe to my videos, my channel. I have 1-minute videos, I have 5-minute videos, I have 25-minute videos, and also Yoga with Tippy on Instagram, Yoga with Tippy on TikTok, and on Facebook I have Tippy. Is it Tippy or Tapanya? But you can find me on those handles. You can join me at any time. If you have any questions, you can DM me. But I'm literally here to help people ease into their bodies. Our bodies are our temple. And so as we age and as our life changes, we gotta make sure we love on our bodies along the way as well.
Okay. Well, I do have it up here, but it's a little while to get it into a focus here. But I want to hold me accountable to make sure we have that display up next week.
Awesome.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Tippy. And thanks to the audience for joining us. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and all the other social media platforms. Check out our website. That's firstcompliance.org for all the upcoming events. And you be safe, and we'll see you next time.
Namaste. Thank you.